Russian leader Vladimir Putin is in China for a security summit where he and Chinese President Xi Jinping are sharing their vision for a new global order, fueling fears of an authoritarian push. The autocratic leaders meeting as President Trump is pushing for peace in Ukraine. Joining me now is WorldStrat president and the chief editor of the Middle East Forum, Jim Hanson. Jim, thanks for talking to us about this morning. You know, it's not looking likely that Putin is going to be meeting this deadline, which Trump has referenced 2 weeks ago, and then Emmanuel Macron as well as Zelensky, they've also referenced this deadline, which is supposed to be today. You know, what's going to happen if Putin just kind of blows through this deadline? I mean, what does that mean for the future of peace talks?
You know, President Trump has been accused of being Putin's puppet, but I don't think Vladimir Putin really wants to get crosswise with Donald Trump right now. Trump's on a roll. He has steamrolled anybody who has gotten in his way. So I don't think he'll hesitate if Putin does refuse to make this deadline or refuse to set a meeting to cause some problems for him. And Russia's not stable enough to be able to withstand the actual full force of U.S. power, economic, diplomatic, you know, and there's no threat of military force right now other than keeping Ukraine going. But if we start to cause them trouble economically, that causes Putin trouble at home that he can't afford.
So you think the consequences should be economic consequences for Putin?
Oh, no doubt. There are a lot of things we can do to cause them difficulty with trade, to cause them, you know, we could remove them from the banking system as almost a non-violent nuclear option. So there's a lot of ways to make life difficult for Putin. And I think President Trump has shown he is willing to make tough decisions in the short term that lead to long-term results rather than just making politically expedient choices. So I like I said, I don't think Vlad wants to get in on Donald's bad list.
Yeah, I mean, and Friday, Putin apparently told Russian officials that he was open to these talks. Whether or not that's going to happen, do you think that this can still happen today? Do you think he's going to get this close to this deadline and be like, you know what, maybe we should do this? Because this is the second time that Trump's tried to do this between the two.
Yeah, doing it on the last day in Putin's mind may make him seem weak. So he may decide to push it off a day or two and go ahead and set something next week. But I don't think he's going to refuse to do it. I think the time has come both for him and Zelensky to realize that the end game to this war is where things stand right now. Russia keeps the territory it has. Zelensky accepts that and gets some guarantees from the Euros and a little bit of backing from us on the security front.
So what do you think about Kim Jong-un visiting China for the first time in the last 6 years?
Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. Kim's been quiet, you know, in most ways. I don't think anybody wants him to get lively again and start lobbing rockets and doing things to destabilize things in the Pacific Rim. I don't think there's any real concern, you know, that he's going to be a major player. But you've got a guy who's willing to launch rockets, who's got nuclear weapons, and who's someone we don't want causing trouble. And the Chinese want that as another problem for President Trump to deal with, to give them leverage. So it's concerning. I don't think anything bad will come in the long term, but it's something to keep our eyes on.
Well, and when you talk about bad in the long term, I mean, what does this mean for Americans? Do you think any of this is anything for Americans to worry about, whether it be financial
Without
or
a doubt.
From a war front?
Yeah, a war being the absolute worst case scenario, but the idea that there's trouble in the Pacific Rim that our allies in that region have to consider. If China and potentially North Korea are some sort of alliance causing trouble there, then they have to wonder: do we make better friendships with China, or can the U.S. Be a better alternative? I think they will all come to the conclusion that we are the better answer, but we have to show that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, one thing's for sure, Trump's got his hands full with these two, trying to get them to talk. That is for sure. Jim Hanson, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.